President Obama is still blasting Bain Capital, making Mitt Romney and private wealth seem evil, but maybe the president should take a closer look at his own supporters, because a lot of them are looking a little Romney-esque themselves. His national campaign co-chair, for example, was a huge private equity guy leading the charge on multi-billionaire dollar deals. Some successful, some not. So this guy making big bucks off deals gone bad, but the president not saying that was bad. Weird. Mort Zuckerman is a billionaire investor. What do you make of all this, Mort?
Well, you know, my private equity investors are great. Your private equity investors are terrible. I think the whole argument is ridiculous. The fact is that private equity serves a real function in our economy, and that is you bring a real concentration of capital on companies that are undervalued or undermanaged, and these people have both the capital and the talent to turn them around. They have done it. Some of them have been very successful. Some have been less successful. Bain Capital was very successful. To my mind, that is an attribute, a positive attribute, not a negative. It's just the worst kind of politics. You know, in America, my experience, whenever I went to football games or baseball games, we generally tended to boo the losers. This is an administration that boos the winners. I've never seen anything like it. It's purely divisive. It doesn't make it possible for the country to work together to solve all of our problems. It undermines the confidence of the public in the business world, and in the confidence of the business world in the administration, and we see it.
Do you think he really feels that as the president, this anger toward business, if so many of the people he surrounds himself with, not so many, but a good many, come from the world of business, come from the world of private equity? Not that there's anything wrong with it. Then don't say that there is anything wrong with it.
But he has a particular political agenda, which we all have to understand. The country is really upset about how bad the economy is being. So who are they going to blame? If you were in the government and you were the president, you would just as soon have them blame business instead of the government. He doesn't want the government to be blamed. So his whole idea is, how do I shift the whole dialogue so that we blame business and blame private equity people and everything like that? The 1%, however it is, but it's divisive. We need the country to pull together. What he is doing is dividing the country. He has so undermined the confidence not just of big business, but of small business in the country's future, that both Stanford and the University of Chicago, they measured the consequences of what they called regulatory and political uncertainty, and we lost over 2 million jobs just because of that, and that's being created by this administration.
What do you see happening now to win guys like you over? And you started on his side.
Yes.
What does he have to do? Or is it too late?
You know, to my mind, at this stage of the game, we've seen really both the best and the worst of this administration. And I came to the conclusion, actually quite a while ago, that this administration was just not up to the job of dealing with the challenges facing America.
How soon did you come up with that realization?
Well, really at the end of the first year, when I saw that he was playing politics with the issues rather than solving the issues. When I saw that he focused on health care at a time when the whole economy needed the qualified attention of the American public and of American politics. And when I saw, for example, when we had a chance to deal with the budget deficits and the budget debts that we are accumulating, which was the Bowles-Simpson plan, right. Not only did he ignore the commission that he set up, he wouldn't even meet with them. So he wasn't doing it because he really wanted to deal with the issue. He was doing it for political purposes.
So by your summation, it sounds like it's too late for him to make inroads here.
I don't think he's going to make it. I don't think he's going to make inroads with the likes of me. A lot of people who were Democrat, I've been a Democrat all my life, have really given up on this administration.
What do they need, though, more? Like, if you talk to fellows like yourself, I mean, it's a select few, mind you, but what do they want to see?
Well, they want to see somebody who's just going to be a grown-up. I mean, somebody who's going to just manage the country for the purposes of trying to get this country back on track, and to be willing to do a few things that may actually have a political cost to them, knowing that if you went beyond the first 2 weeks or the first 2 months, you might actually get to a position where the country was doing better, and therefore you would get credit for it. The way people like, frankly, Bill Clinton did. Bill Clinton introduced budget deficit reduction bills in his first few months of office.
That's right.
You know, and he took a big hit for it.
Remember, he bemoaned that too.
Right.
Said we're all Eisenhower Republicans. Right. He didn't like it.
Right. But he established a platform from which the economy began to take off. That's what we needed. Ronald Reagan did the same thing, if you remember. Ronald Reagan and Tip O'Neill got together and resolved the whole issue of Social Security for 3 decades. Where was that? None of that has appeared in this administration.
Well, I'm going to put you down as a maybe on Obama. Mort Zuckerman, always good seeing you.